So research says it's easy to predict desired romantic partners. It's not, however, easy to predict good romantic partners. And this suggests that many of us are dating all wrong. So if you want to make better dating choices, don't take it from me, take it from the experts, and keep watching. So Samantha Joel, a researcher, wanted to explore the question, can we predict successful relationships? So she and a big team of scientists conducted 43 studies looking at more than 11,000 long-term heterosexual couples and how happy each person was in these relationships. One thing that they found was that these were the 8 traits that were the least predictive in determining romantic happiness: physical attractiveness, height, occupation, race and ethnicity, religious affiliation, sexual tastes, previous marital status, and similarities to oneself. And what's interesting about that is that these are the traits that are deemed the most desirable, according to data from online dating sites, where conventional attractiveness is the #1 predictor of how many messages someone gets on a dating app. Even things like having a sexy name, which is subjective, increases the chance of getting more right swipes. And I hate to admit this, but I thought of that when I read that, and I was like, if someone is already attractive and their name is Jacob or Hunter, it just kind of does something to a lady's mind. But again, what the data shows is that although there is definitely a correlation between those traits and desirability, there's almost no correlation between those traits and happiness. So there is a clear distinction to be made between desire and happiness. Now, to give you the abstract of these studies. Basically, research cannot tell you whether or not 2 people will share a happy life together. Only life can tell you that. But there's still some very interesting findings that can absolutely transform the way that you pursue romance in your life. But before we get into that, the first thing that you should do is go to therapy. Whether you are happily single, happily married, therapy can really help you uncover and unfold parts of yourself that you simply cannot do on your own. I understand myself so much better after going to therapy, which ultimately has helped me make better, healthier choices for myself. And that's why I'm so excited to tell you about BetterHelp, who is our sponsor today. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy accessible, and this is such an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist easy because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a therapist in as little as a few days. It's really easy to sign up to get matched with a therapist. I've left a link in my description box. It's betterhelp.com/Lana, so betterhelp.com/Lana, and clicking that link really helps support this channel, but it also gives you 10% off your first month at BetterHelp so that you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. And because finding a therapist is a little like dating, you don't really know if it's going to be a fit or not, it's very easy to switch therapists if you want to. So if you are struggling in any way, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in my description box or visit betterhelp.com/Lana. Thank you again so much to BetterHelp for supporting this channel. Now, since having a partner that is 6'4", whose name is Hunter, is not going to mean that you're going to be happy in your relationship, what does? Well, there are some things that play a role. So one thing that did seem to impact the happiness of each person in a relationship was how happy they were before the relationship. So let's say we have 2 people, Luis and Peter, and if they both answered yes to questions like, were you satisfied in life before you met him or her, research showed that they would be significantly more happy in their relationships, which supports the old saying of, you can't be happy with someone unless you're happy with yourself first. So basically, you're more likely to be happy with someone long term if they are already happy in most areas of their life. Another thing was a growth mindset. So basically, being with someone who is interested in improving themselves and learning new skills, etc. And then the thing about all of this is that it's quite difficult to know these things when you are on dating app or you're just starting to date someone. It's things that you are going to figure out as you get to know someone. So let's look at what else there is in determining present and future relationship satisfaction. One thing that was very high on the list was perceived partner commitment. So what they found was that in the time leading up to people marrying, ever perceiving one's partner to be less committed than they were, even if the other partner was perceived to be even just a little bit less committed, that was one of the best predictors of unhappiness in marriage. So basically, if you feel strongly that you want your relationship to last forever, but you don't perceive your partner to feel the same way, well, you got some pretty big problems. Another thing was appreciation, so feeling lucky to have your partner. And then we have sexual satisfaction. How satisfied are you with the quality of your sex life? We also have perceived partner satisfaction, so how happy you think the relationship makes your partner. And we have conflict, so how much or how little conflict there is in the relationship. And now, since we know that looks and all of that basically play no role in relationship happiness, we might be thinking, well, then it's, personality that we should be looking at, right? Actually, personality doesn't matter very much either. See, what's more important is this: the characteristics of the relationship itself. It's the dynamic that you build with a person. So what the findings tell us is that the person we choose is not nearly as important as the relationship that we build. So basically, we don't find the perfect person, we build a good relationship by setting up the conditions that will allow the relationship to flourish. In Joel's own words, the dynamic that you build with someone, the shared norms, the in-jokes, the shared experiences, is so much more than the separate individuals who make up the relationship. And now they're not claiming that the personalities of the two people involved in the relationship does not play any role in the overall satisfaction, because it does. So for example, each person's attachment style matters. Now, if you're not familiar with attachment styles, attachment theory, I highly recommend reading the book Attached by Amir Levine. I will link it down below. It is one of the greatest books that I've read on understanding relationships and myself and just people in general. And also, speaking of attachment styles, therapy really helped me navigate that one because it can be quite complicated. And now this study did look at long-term relationships, and some people were wondering, what can people who are in the initial dating stages take from this? And here is what Joel said. You want to look for a partner who seems genuinely interested in you, who is good at perspective taking with you, and who seems to be responsive to your needs. Someone who makes you feel understood, validated, and cared for. And I couldn't agree more. What do you think?